inviting PSI to this very interesting session, and it's another step to consolidate our cooperation as Public Services International, the Global Union Federation organizing trade unions in the public sector, and meaning organizing the workers of your municipalities and your regional governments. We consider this alliance with UCLG strategic because it's only joining our efforts that we can advance and promote a different idea of justice and a different idea of developing our societies. And in this alliance, the role of women and the role of the feminists is very, very important, because we don't just want to have a change and innovation, but we want to have a transformative process of our society that can lead to a feminist approach of the development, which is fundamental if we want to address the multiple crises we are in. The health crisis, the economic crisis, the climate crisis, challenging the digital transformation we are talking about in these days. And the role of workers and of women workers is crucial in this process. I think that you all are very eager to get support from voters, from the people, the citizens of your cities when you go for election. But the first alliance that you have to build is with workers that can support your political manifesto, your political objectives, and achieve the goals that are in your electoral campaign. And to do that, I think that we need to recognize that there are fundamental issues. The first is to recognize the value of the work. Was mentioned by Madame Pavanelli that we need to put in value the work and the workers of care. And when we talk about care as a factor to transform the society, we're not simply talking about care economy. It's not just an economic factor. It's much more than that. It's thinking to a society that's completely different. This is why we addressed this issue in a manifesto that we launched last year, and we are evolving, promoting guidelines to implement this manifesto, where we move from the fact that first we need to recognize the social and economic value of care. And it has to be recognized at all levels, the paid and unpaid value of care, and recognize care as a fundamental human right. Reward and remunerate care with equal pay for work of equal value. That means raise the wages of women that continue to suffer about an unbelievable gap, reduce the burden of unpaid care on women, and redistribute the care work in the family, between the sex, between the gender, and within the society. Because it's not just an individual responsibility, a family responsibility is a collective responsibility, and institutions have to respond to that. And finally, we think that we need to reclaim in public hand the care services, because privatization has led to the many problems that we saw during the pandemics, and the disconnection between the health system, the care system, creating a favorable environment where emergency can be faced all together collectively with the resources that we really need. And now that we're talking about digital, we think that this work on care can be accompanied with a different approach also on the theme of digital. For sure, digital has to be used to protect data, but to protect also the know-how of the public administration that are involved. Often we look at public procurement that simply outsource not only the service, but the know-how of the institution itself, and this is at the detriment of our institution and our democracy at the very end. It can be dangerous. And we think that there's another common that we need to protect in future, and this common are data, the collective data that we need to protect, as well as care, as well as health, education, water, and so forth. I stop here, and I think that we have a lot of work to do together.
Well, thank you very much for